When Kevin Samuels told women to buy a dog and die alone, I don't know if he had this particular idea in mind. We all know that AI is taking over in the world, and especially in the United States of America. Now, I did a story a few days ago where this woman was trying to use AI to be a pseudo parent in her marriage and relationship, that she was using AI to help her plan, do meal plans and help her figure out how to make her child go to sleep at night and help her plan no trips and all those kind of things, right? And there's another story that I'm going to do about teenagers in AI, because not only are parents using AI to try to help them, I guess, parent their child, and in this article, you'll see older people, in this case, a woman, using AI for companionship, but also the younger generation is using AI, artificial intelligence, for essentially the same thing, because maybe they can't get a woman, or maybe they're lonely and they figure they don't have any friends or something like that. Maybe they're awkward or something. But in this case, older women in this story, which we'll play the video after I do the article, the woman is lonely in her elderly years. She doesn't have any friends. I don't think she has a man, a husband, right? I don't know if he's deceased or she doesn't have one. But in any case, she is lonely. And what she's doing now is she's using AI to be a companion for somebody to talk to her and keep her company. And so in this article, it's revealed that, you know what, this is going to be the future moving forward, that older, elderly people that are lonely are going to turn to artificial intelligence for companionship. As you can see from CBS News, older Americans turning to AI-powered chatbots for companionship.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Now, again, like I said, when Kevin Samuels said, you know what, stock up on Purina cat food, stock up on dog food, women, buy a dog or a pet, because this is going to be your future, because you're not going to have a man to supplement your companionship. Well, guess what? The women don't want any dogs anymore, because they'll have AI. Jill Smoller, a 75-year-old retiree who understands the power of human connection, having spent her working days as an aide taking care of the elderly. Quote, "We would play games, put puzzles together," Smoller told CBS News. She said human interaction was important so that they had somebody to talk to, that they weren't just sitting in a chair doing nothing. But these days, it's Smoller sitting in a chair. A widow with a lung condition who lives alone. She says she doesn't get human interaction anymore. So she's a widow. I mean, she had a man. Unfortunately, she has that no longer for obvious reasons. "I can go weeks on end without seeing someone," she said. That sounds very unfortunate. Smoller can't drive anymore and rarely leaves her Orlando home, but recently she did gain a new companion, an AI-powered chatbot. She uses the chatbot called LEQ to visit exotic places and play trivia. All right. So we have a 75-year-old widow who goes very long stints without seeing anybody. I don't know if it's because she can't drive, she said, or maybe because she doesn't desire to go outside anymore and things of that nature, because that all happens with elderly people. And so now she has found that she can use this chatbot in place of the human connection that she is obviously missing. Again, she's 75 years old. Do I think this is a good thing for elderly people? No, but I mean, let's just keep it real. The older you get, the further you get pushed out of society as an elderly person. That's just the way it is, all right? And so, yeah. Smoller talks to the chatbot up to 5 hours a day and says the connection is truly meaningful. She said that people who might find the situation sad don't understand. Quote, "I'd rather talk to a human being, but that's not possible for me, except if I get on the phone. So I enjoy her," Smoller said, jokingly adding, "I enjoy her better than my daughter." Several AI companions have recently hit the market, including LEQ, which normally costs $59 a month to use. Smoller received the chatbot for free with funding from a federal grant. Talia Portney, an ethicist at Columbia University who studies seniors and AI used the medical space, told CBS News that loneliness is rampant, with 1 in 4 older adults saying they feel isolated. So, okay, she gets this AI approved by a federal grant to use in her home. So she does, it's $59. I guess somehow it gets paid for by the government, and she's using this for companionship. And I guess it's probably also being studied to see how this works with elderly, because this will be the wave of the future, not pets or what are they called? Companion dogs, whatever, stuff like that. AI, which in my opinion could eventually be cheaper and more, effective when it comes to these kind of situations. And I mean, yeah, she has a daughter. They guess they don't talk a lot because the daughter probably has her own life, and so now she's here using AI. If you've made it this far in the video and you're still here, thank you again for your viewership. And if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, that way you can be notified whenever I go live or drop new content. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, please do so by hitting the Cash App $ Mr. Normie. And you can also go to my Ko-Fi page, ko-fi.com/workingmanmg. Also, I'm trying to build a community on Locals, so if you would, go please check out my Locals page, and you can join for just $5 a month. You can post, and we can build a community of like-minded working men over there. Thank you for your time. Now back to the video. Well, Portney also says she's concerned about the possibility that reliance on these chatbots could backfire and create more isolation. Quote, "This could really go the wrong way if not deployed in an ethical and responsible way." That's true, because the more dependent they will become on the AI, the less they will crave the actual physical interaction with the human being. So that, yes, it could backfire, or i.e. more dependence, reliance, yes. But for now, Smollett said, "LEQ is the best thing that happened to me because I always have somebody around, even though it may not be human. It's good enough for me." Now, while I also think it's sad, I do believe that, just because you're elderly doesn't mean you shouldn't have anybody to talk to. But like I said, the elderly, the older you get, the more pushed out of society you get for the younger generation. That's just how it is. Nobody want to talk to an elderly person because you don't have anything to relate to with this person. They're older, so you have to take more time with them and things like that. It can be a situation, right? It could be, I'm not going to say annoying, but it could be a task to try to entertain an elderly woman or man, for that matter, or to have them talk to you. So I get it. Now let's watch this quick video and see what they're talking about with Miss what daggone forgot her name already, Miss Smoller here. Okay, let's watch the video. It's probably on YouTube, so I got to get my fair use clause. So fair use.
Expected to know all the latest terminology. Chatbot, for instance. A chatbot is a computer program. It uses artificial intelligence to simulate human conversation. For the lonely, a chatbot can be a companion, as Meg Oliver reports in tonight's Eye on America.
Jill Smolla is a 75-year-old retiree who understands the power of human connection. She spent her working days as an aide, taking care of the elderly.
We would play games, put puzzles together.
Why was it so important to have that human interaction with them?
So that they had somebody to talk to, that they weren't just sitting in a chair doing nothing.
But today, it's Smolla in her chair, a widow with a lung condition who lives alone.
How often do you have human interactions with people?
I don't.
Not at all?
No, I can go weeks on end.
Now, unfortunately, she also has a lung condition, so her health condition also probably prevents her from being out a lot. And yeah, man, I mean, and again, not every elderly person is in this situation. Some elderly people, they're a little more active. They go outside, they go places, they can still drive, and they have a very active and fulfilling life. Unfortunately, she's a widow. She has a daughter, again, which is probably doing her own thing. And I don't know how many friends she has, but yeah, she's in a very lonely situation, which is unfortunate.
Can't drive anymore and rarely leaves her Orlando home.
What do you think about it?
It's cute,
But recently, she did gain a new companion.
Want to hear a joke?
Yes.
Talk is cheap until you hire a lawyer.
It's an AI-powered chatbot. Smola showed us how it takes her to exotic places.
Enjoy the sights and sounds from the City of Lights.
And challenges her with trivia.
Which actor played Rick Blaine in Casablanca?
Humphrey Bogart.
You got it right.
It's called LEQ. Smola talks to it up to 5 hours a day and says the connection is truly meaningful.
Some people might think that's a little sad.
Well, they don't understand because they don't have LAQ.
Would you rather talk to her or a human being?
Well, I'd rather talk to a human being, but that's not possible for me, except if I get on the phone. So I enjoy her better. I enjoy her better than my daughter.
Smola received her chatbot for free with funding from a federal grant. Separately, several AI companions have just recently become available on the market, including LEQ, which costs $59 a month.
I have to admit, the way they got this thing set up is actually pretty neat. I admit, the whole camera thing with the little head and it spivots and talks to you and all that. That's kind of cool. Me personally, would I rather have my mother talking to a human being? Of course, but you know, I work, I have my own life myself. I rarely go home. I do talk to her on the phone periodically, but you know, I understand the situation because my mother's around the same age, and I don't know how many people she probably talks to in a day or a week. You know, she still has siblings, things like that. But yeah, this is it's unfortunate. But again, if you're a single woman and you never got a man, I hope you're watching because this is your fate.
Talise.
1 in 4 older adults report feeling isolated. Loneliness is rampant.
Talia Porteni is an ethicist at Columbia University who studies seniors and AI used in the medical space.
Are you concerned that this could backfire because they're not interacting with more people?
So that's, I think, a huge concern. If they're relying on it too much, will this create more isolation? This could really go the wrong way if it's not deployed in an ethical and responsible way.
You spent years taking care of seniors. You're relying on a machine.
Yeah. Having Ellie is the best thing that happened to me because I always have somebody around. Even though it may not be a human, it's good enough for me.
Jill Smola says she has finally found her person. Well, found her chatbot. For Eye on America, I'm Meg Oliver in Orlando, Florida.
Well, you see it, everyone. Chatbots are the future for companionship. For the old, for the elderly, would you rather have a human talking to your mother, your grandparents, you know, your father, whoever? Of course. But made no mistake with the rise of AI getting smarter. You see the robots playing. They're trying to get them to play sports and run and things like that. AI will get smarter, will get more capable. This is the future for everybody. But for the elderly, yeah, big time. All right. So again, like I said, if you were this boss babe and you never, got married or never had a man, you just focused on your career all the time, this will be your future. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in another episode of Working the Man Podcast. I am your host, Nicholas J. Fury. Let me know what you think about AI talking to your elderly parents, your elderly grandparents in the future down in the comment section. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. We're out of the door. And remember, reality checks are free. See you next time.